Okay, let's talk a little bit about the charts here. First, Bitcoin on the weekly. We can see here the MACD still here making smaller red candles here. When we look to the price, we topped out here at this big resistance here area, and we have this wick here to the upside. So yeah, these wicks here we see often when there is a temporary top in there, but that's the weekly. Let's go to the Heikin Ashi candles on the weekly. So we have still a big green candle here in the second week here after this first green candle, a second with no undershadow here. So the last few times that was a good sign. It doesn't guarantee it is this time, but yeah, we want to watch these Heikin Ashi candles, of course. Let's go a little bit to the shorter term, the 3 days. First with Heikin Ashi candles. So it's the fourth green Heikin Ashi candle. We haven't seen this in this downtrend here so far. So that looks good here on the 3 day. Let's go to the normal candles. We can also see that the MACD here has crossed here positive and is continuing. But on the 3 day candle, we are forming a red here, and this will close in 8 hours. So that might indicate that yeah, we have here big resistance. Let's go to the daily. On the daily here, the MACD is slowing down here, is coming down. We can also see a red candle here yesterday. Yeah, wicking into this a big resistance area here down there. So far today it's a green candle. Let's put in the 8-day EMA and the 34-day EMA, because in the last runs we have seen that these crosses of these two EMAs have resulted in a trend change. For example, we can see it here, the green and the black. Here's the green. It crossed first time here, and that was the beginning of the downtrend. Here it crossed positive again. Here it crossed negative, and here crossed positive, and here it crossed negative. And since then, the 8-day EMA was below the 34-day EMA. So now we have again a cross here, a positive cross. So I think that could be important. Also, we have seen these 8-day EMA here working as resistance and the 34-day here. And it could now provide some support here at these levels. So on the upside, we have this resistance. On the downside, we have here some support. Let's see whether this holds. We have seen here in these uptrends here, for example, the 8-day EMA has provided support here. So let's see whether this plays out here again. Yeah, when we go to the Bollinger Bands on the hourly, yeah, on the daily we can also see we topped out here at these Bollinger Bands here so far. Let's go back to these levels here. We also had this. I think what's also interesting in this downtrend here on the daily, the middle of these Bollinger Bands provided some significant resistance here down here. We had once we wicked above it, but yeah, topped out here at the upper Bollinger Bands, and we're now at the same level here. We came through this Bollinger to the average here, and we're now at the top here. So with this resistance here and the Bollinger Bands, yeah, it looks like we have here, yeah, the resistance. So yeah, that's the daily stuff. Going to the 1 hourly. The Bollinger Bands are tightening, so usually that means volatility ahead. We don't know whether it's to the upside or downside, but it seems like that could indicate some volatility ahead. Yeah, that's so far the Bitcoin. We have seen the sonars yesterday, some of them crossing positive, which is also a sign of strength so far. But yeah, we're still below this resistance. We have the Bollinger Bands and everything. And yeah, going to the stocks, going to Mara, for example, on the daily. We also wicked yesterday above this upper Bollinger Band into this resistance here, we can see here. And we're now still at the upper end of the Bollinger Bands. So if we go down here, I think what's also interesting here is with the Bollinger Bands on the daily, it provided also here, the average provided here resistance. But the first time in this downtrend here, we crossed above the average. So we always were below and on the lower end of the Bollinger Bands here. So now we pushed through and we're now at the upper end. So yeah, let's see where this is going. But these are of course signs of strength here. Not saying that we cannot correct here because we're at resistance and Bollinger Bands, but these are first good signs. Removing the Bollinger Bands and watching the 8 and the 34 day. So in Bitcoin we have seen the cross here for Mara and most of these other stocks not. But it seems like it's not far away if we can hold this level here, this line. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting for all these miners. HUD is a little bit ahead. They're already trying to cross positive today or next week if we continue this trend here. So HUD really seems like a little bit ahead of the other mining stocks so far. Okay, so yeah, that's the little update. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.